What if I told you in 5 easy steps I could help you pack a suitcase with no stress and complete confidence that you didn't forget anything? This speech will change the way you think about packing and make it less stressful and less boring, making sure you get to your destination without having forgotten anything. Almost everyone in this class has had to pack an overnight bag, which we all know can be boring and hard. But with these steps, I can eliminate both of those factors. Step 1. First, you want to find a suitcase that is big enough to fit all of the items you plan on taking on your trip, whether you have to go out and buy a new one or borrow one from a friend. Suitcases can be quite expensive, so I recommend borrowing one from a friend. You also want to make sure that you stick on the small side, because if you go too big, that can lead to overpacking. You also want to make sure that your suitcase has at least one outside pocket and at least one inside pocket. Mine has an inside pocket here and an inside pocket here. You also want something that can distinguish it as yours at the airport, which that can be something as simple as a name tag that you can get when you're checking your bags. You should also make sure that your suitcase has no rips and no tears. You don't want things to be falling out of your suitcase while it is in the plane or while you're in the airport and you're stuck picking up your items that you've dropped. Step 2. Next, you should make out a list of what you're going to need on your trip. This includes your shoes, clothes, and toiletries, and even your electronics. You should put a number by each of the items for how many you'll need depending on the duration of your trip so you don't overpack. I have included my numbers on the side of each of my items. Step 3. Next, you need to get ready everything you plan on taking on your trip with you. I recommend laying everything out on your bed so you can see where you're all going to pack. I have all my items laid out and now I'm ready to begin. All your t-shirts will need to be folded along with your pants. I recommend the rolled fold. To do the rolled fold on the t-shirt, you'll want to get your t-shirt out and shake it out so there's no wrinkles. Then lay it flat out on your bed and adjust everything so there's no wrinkles anywhere on your shirt. Then you fold in each sleeve slightly in. After that, you take the bottom corner and the top corner of your sleeve and fold that into the neckline. Do that on both your sides. Then you'll have a nice rectangle shape like this. You want to fold that in half one more time, the hot dog way. After you've done that, check for wrinkles and start rolling up your shirt tightly. You want to tuck your fingers under each time you roll to prevent wrinkles, because if there's not an iron in your hotel, you're going to be left with a wrinkly shirt. Then your shirt should look like a little bundle rolled like this. Doing the roll fold with the pants is just a little different. Still, take your pants and lay them out so there's no wrinkles on either of the legs. After you smooth them out, you want to fold the pant leg, one of the pant legs into the other one. Smooth out again. This time you will fold that in half, and I know it may seem a little small, but it helps with the space in your suitcase. Then start rolling that the same way you rolled your t-shirt, tucking your fingers under each time you roll so there's no wrinkles. And that can lead you to another perfect bundle roll, but this time with your pants. You will also want to place all of your toiletries and liquids into another bag or container. I have a special container made for my toiletries. This prevents from any liquid spilling on your clothes and possibly damaging them. A good tip from flight attendants is to stuff your undergarments into your shoes. I'm going to put my socks into my tennis shoes, but first I'll need to fold my socks. When folding your socks, you want to take both your socks and put them up against each other, one lower than the other. Take the sock that is higher and fold it over the lower one. After you've done that, it should connect the two socks. Then you want to roll these into a bundle so it will stuff into your shoes perfectly. Now that my socks are all rolled, they're ready to go in my shoes. And I'm going to stick them in my shoes and stick them all the way to the top, just in case I need to stick another pair in. Step 4. Now that all your clothes and items are ready to be put in your suitcase, you can start loading them in. You want to put your shoes in first to make sure that no dirt from the bottom of your shoes gets on your clothes. When you put in your shoes, make sure you put them toe to heel to save more space. Next, put your shirt and your pants and even a sweatshirt into the next biggest open space you see, leaving any space on top for any item you might have forgotten to lay out. After all of those items are in your suitcase, you should see a perfect open spot to fit your toiletries bag. Once everything is in there, make sure you have forgotten nothing. Step 5. You want to make sure you leave space in your suitcase for a few extra fun items and necessities. Those items could include a book to read on the plane, headphones to listen to music on the plane, and a charger to make sure your phone doesn't die. When putting those items in your suitcase, you can put them wherever you see any open spaces. Since the items are so small, they won't make much of an impact. Once you have put all your final items in your suitcase, zip it up. With all of the techniques I showed you, your suitcase should zip up perfectly. Now you are ready to go on your trip with nothing left behind. Those 5 steps make packing easy and guarantee you won't forget anything. First, remember to plan ahead by preparing a list. Second, make sure you fold things in a way that will keep them compact and take up less room. Next, if you're flying, make sure you have something to distinguish your bag from others in the airport. Finally, double check to make sure you have everything. Following these easy steps will make sure you didn't forget anything and you'll have enough money for any souvenirs you want to buy for family and friends because you wouldn't have had to buy any extra things that you may have forgotten.